Welcome to Blind Level Tech. I'm Jonathan Price.
I'm Evan Starnes.
And together, we're bringing you news, tech, and information about blind technologies.
Being blind doesn't mean you have to stop living.
We're going to show you just how possible it is to live the life you want.
Now look here.
Oh.
What's up?
I think I've been pushed to the maximum limit with technology today.
No.
I know, on Blind Level Tech. Sorry, I don't know if the gain's off too.
No, you're good.
My work laptop, I was trying to join like 15 minutes ago. I was trying to join the Squadcast, and then it still is. It just stopped responding. It stopped talking.
Yeah.
Nothing worked. I couldn't get it to do anything. But
so Squadcast has been a little bit laggy?
No, I wasn't even on Squadcast. It was
I was in your computer.
And well, it first started out, it did not want to connect to my Wi-Fi.
Sure.
And then it froze, and I couldn't get it to do anything. Even the infamous Alt Control Delete didn't do anything.
Oh, wow.
It just, and then I figured, okay, I'll just use my desktop. My actual personal. And the Windows key wasn't working normally at all.
Weird.
So I couldn't get to my desktop. And it wouldn't switch sound cards to my Yeti mic.
Now, did you plug in your device so that it wouldn't go bad?
I totally did. And this is a desktop too, so its battery is actually a big giant lead acid pillow in the UPS. But, Lord. And then top it off, this morning I was at my girlfriend's, and she goes to grab laundry, and she's like, "You got an AirPod in your pocket."
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Was it your AirPod Pro?
Yeah.
Apple Care.
Yep. And I lost my debit card too.
Oh, dude, man.
And I almost couldn't. I was at Starbucks. I almost couldn't get an Uber because it kept declining my Apple Pay, and I had to basically go and unlock my card so I could get an Uber.
Okay. Weird.
And then I got a really nice dude. But
that's good.
It's been a morning.
Did you get a pumpkin spice latte?
No, I had to. I wanted to get back here in time so I could get everything set up, and I wasn't rushing in.
Okay, so I have to know, what was the solution for the computer?
The first part of the solution was yelling at it, calling it every insult I could think of. I was like, dirty, nasty, putrid, rotten, filthy, ugly, rancid. I was trying not to
everything. Sure. Yeah. Did you kick it?
I actually did. I punched it. I kind of I pounded on my keyboard with not enough force to break anything, but just enough force to express my point here.
To let you know that the computer is not being polite and that it needs to fix itself.
It's being rude and it needs to work.
That's right.
And then I unplugged my Yeti, plugged my Yeti in, tried to do all these, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So in defeat, I restarted the computer.
Oh, good job.
Yeah.
And let me guess, it fixed everything. Now, see, for everybody listening, this is a case in point that even the most technical people run into tech issues. And then we compound the issue by trying to think that we can actually fix the issues without restarting the computer, which clears out, if you don't know, clears out all the cache, clears out all the
RAM
junk that is bogging down your computer, and it just prevents it's like, imagine your RAM or the RAM on your computer as this nice giant desk, and every time you take a folder out, it's like pieces of paper on your desk, and so every once in a while your desk gets completely jam-packed with all this clutter and crap that's all over the place, and you've got coffee cups, you've got files, you've got cords, you've got chargers, you've got your phones, you've got all that stuff. Every once in a while, you just need to take your hands and go completely just wah, and just throw it all off the side of the computer or off the side of the desk and start clean, and then start reorganizing it, cleaning it out. That's what a refresh or a restart does for your computer. So,
and that's even the case if you have a Mac.
Which by the way,
great segue.
Thank you, Evan, because we are going to be talking about the accessibility in Mac OS. And now I'm going to preface this by saying I personally am using Mac OS Big Sur. I have not upgraded. I have not jumped up to the Sonoma that's currently, as of this recording, or as of the date of this release, which is the 18th of October.
Yeah.
And I'm using Big Sur. Evan, what are you using?
I'm using Sonoma. All my stuff is Sonoma.
Perfect. Well, your computer is a lot more new than mine. Mine is a 2009 cheese grater Mac that I have juiced up to the nines, and so it's running like a dream. And but anyway, so we're going to get into some of that accessibility. But first, Evan, I know you just had a rough morning. How was the weekend?
Oh, the weekend was actually really, really good.
Nice.
Got to spend a lot of time with my girlfriend, got to hang out with a buddy who got a new ADT security system, which is very interesting. I've never seen this thing before. It's a pretty new one, but we got it set up, and oh my gosh, this chair is killing me. But we got it set up, and I have a thing with loud noises, and I'm like, please don't set that off. Please. I cannot, because it is. But and so he didn't, but he ended up scaring himself to death with it because he set it off and didn't know that it was going to go off.
What is it with our show and like security systems and having the same problem with every I mean, this must be like a worldwide problem where we set the wrong feature.
I mean, I don't know. I used to be like interested in them a lot. I used to think I wanted to be an installer, but yeah, so the weekend was pretty good. Got to go to, that would be my work computer. Blooper.
And
sorry.
My phone is going off.
Dialogue
What?
12:09 Monday.
Nobody asked you. I don't think anybody invited you. Now you decide to work? Well, let me break this to you. You're already getting replaced. Just dig the hole even deeper.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, the weekend was really good. I'm really glad I'm actually getting, thank you, Kim, I'm getting a new work laptop.
Oh yeah. Here. Speaking of work, I do have to make this really quick announcement. We are, and we've kind of broadcast this on our other episodes, but we have yet to do it here. We are changing our name, not the podcast name, BLT. We are changing our company name. We used to be
Radio Reading Service of the Rockies. And
it used to be that. And we're currently Audio Information Network of Colorado. We are going to now be starting on January 1st, known as AfterSight. And so that might be confusing to you since we do have a podcast called AfterSight. So this is where we need your help. We are taking listener questions or comments or suggestions as to what the podcast show AfterSight should now be called, whether it be, raining cats and dogs or singing in the rain or whatever. I don't know why I went with rain all of a sudden.
I don't know.
That's weird.
Maybe it's going to rain.
Maybe. I don't know. But in either case, we do want to hear your feedback. We want to have that support and who knows? We'll try to do something special for you if we choose the name that you've suggested for the new show. With that being said, Evan, we got to dive into this Mac OS accessibility stuff because I realized that we did all the iOS features for the phone. We did all the Google features and
Android. Yeah.
And we talked about computers. We did an episode about computers. We didn't go through any of the accessibility features for either Windows or Mac. So here we are. We're going to jump into the Mac because I'm a Mac user and I believe in Mac, and Windows can.
Personal opinion too, its accessibility settings are a little bit more organized. Windows went from, they used to have the ease of access center, but now they've renamed it to a more recognizable accessibility settings.
Yeah, for sure.
Or accessibility
and so
center.
our conversations are going to be a little bit different, but they are going to feature a lot of the same things. So Evan, if I'm going to start very quickly, and we're going to use this as brief can be, at least for my specific platform, because many people who have a newer Mac will automatically be able to upgrade to the Sonoma, which it's currently out. But for general things like VoiceOver, if you don't know what VoiceOver is and you're using a computer, I'm very impressed. VoiceOver is one of those things that you kind of have to use, or that's really handy to use if you're using a computer. You just kind of with a screen reader. Yeah. Provides a lot of spoken descriptions for whatever's kind of on your computer screen. Evan, what do you want to say about VoiceOver specifically?
Well, yeah, if you don't have good enough vision to be able to see the computer monitor or the screen, VoiceOver is an essential, and it lets you interact with applications in a very. I like the way it lets you interact with applications. You get to explore the windows. It has, it reads everything on this. Well, not everything. It reads the screen like a screen reader. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. Duh. But it also has features now like OCR. So if it detects an image, it'll read the text in an image or describe it to you. It's not the best, but it works. It allows you to even set up little handy shortcuts to open applications, to trigger certain things to happen. Basically changes the way you interact with your computer. You pretty much interact with it from the keyboard. However, if you have a trackpad, you can use the trackpad commander, which will basically turn your trackpad into a touchscreen like the iPhone. It kind of, and the voiceover gestures from iOS will pretty much tie over to the Mac side.
Yeah, and if you want to toggle on and off the VoiceOver, it's Apple F5. And I don't know if that's the same in Sonoma.
No, and if you're one of the poor, unfortunate souls with a touch bar Mac, well, maybe you like it. You hold Control, Option, and then you click your power button 3 times.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That's a horrible shortcut.
I know, and it doesn't even turn on VoiceOver. It just opens the menu that you have to select VoiceOver from. It's a talking menu. But,
okay, Apple, ding on you.
Yeah, good thing they discontinue that. But yeah, that's VoiceOver in a nutshell. Let's move on.
And then Zoom.
Zoom, basically, it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know too much about it. I have zero use for it, but it allows you to zoom anything from like your desktop to text to graphics to whatever application you're running in. I think I don't know if it allows you to blow anything up or do anything with color inversions, but I think those are actually separate options. But
yeah, so that might be in the display. So the options that are currently available, at least for Big Sur, use keyboard shortcuts to zoom, so you can toggle in and out, zoom in, zoom out of either pictures or the text or anything like that. And then there's a use scroll gesture with the modifier keys to zoom, so you can use like Control and then something else. So you can kind of customize your own key switch, I guess is the best way to do that. So if you want to like Control Z, you could do that for zoom, or like it's whatever you
control feel, up or down, whatever.
Right. Yeah. So you can just kind of make it yours, which that's kind of a fun feature. Zoom style for the full screen, or you can do split screens. You can do picture in picture, at least for my version. You can even zoom per display. So if you have multiple displays and you are using the zoom feature, you can toggle back and forth between which display you want to zoom on. And so you would have to go into the advanced settings or have somebody help you set up those settings, which can be fun. And then the last one, at least in the zoom category, is this enable hover text. So when you hover your mouse over a particular text, it will automatically zoom in so that you can kind of see what that text is. So there is that. Anything else for you on Zoom?
Nope.
Cool.
Not at all.
Displays. Okay, so this is where you get into the invert colors and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to let you go and then I'll fill in the rest.
Yeah, so you can pretty much change anything here from your text size. So you can change the text. Wow. Okay. So you can change your display and text size. So if you need like a larger font, or what have you. You can change that in this menu. You can also do what's called color inversion. So if you have color sensitivity or sensitivity to bright colors, well, it also has a dark mode in there, I believe, too. I'm pretty sure dark mode's in that because they've added that to macOS. But you can do color inversion, which will basically, I'm pretty sure it just makes everything black and white, monochrome. And that option's in there. I believe there's also an option for like a bold text option. So I think any text will just be emphasized. But there might be some other options that I haven't seen. I barely go into that little menu, but
yeah. So on this one, you can, like you said, invert the colors, reduce motion, which sometimes if you're throwing your cursor around or you're trying to navigate, sometimes that motion blur can play tricks on you. So you can reduce some of that motion, increase the contrast, reduce transparency, differentiate without colors. That reduced transparency really affects the border of particular windows. So if you don't want your windows to look kind of transparent, kind of see-through, you can enable that so that it takes that away. So there's more contrast between the window and maybe your desktop image, if that makes sense. And then differentiate without color. Not entirely sure what that refers to.
But I believe I think what that does is if you can't see colors or you have color sensitivity, I think it will try and I imagine it will tell you what colors are what in some way. It probably uses symbols, or maybe it'll even just say it, but can't find that out, unfortunately.
Yeah. But then in the menu bar, you can do the menu bar size, which is at the very top. You can do large or just the default. You can make it a little bit bigger. And then the last one, there's like a little slider on here. You can go from display contrast from normal to maximum, which is nice. And then there's another tab in the display. And if you do have a little bit of vision or you are low vision, there's this great feature called shake mouse pointer to locate. And if you shake your mouse, the cursor gets really, really big so you can see where it is if you do have enough vision. So if you shake it, like if I shake it really fast, I can see the mouse cursor get really large and then I can find it. So it's nice if you wake up your computer and you don't know where your mouse is, or you come back and you haven't, your screen hasn't gone on screensaver. You're like, where in the world is my mouse? You just move it and then shake it a little bit and it gets really big. It's kind of nice. And then color filters, you can enable different color filters, grayscale, all that kind of stuff. So anything else on the display?
Nope. We got it.
Right.
I think we covered it.
We're going to blaze through because we got some other accessibility stuff. Speaking announcements, or this is spoken content, and this is kind of a large one, I'm assuming, for blind low vision.
It is mainly because this is where you change your non-voice over voice. So let's say because some applications will use text to speech, and if they're not using their own text to speech or their own custom API where they let you pick a voice from the application, it will use whatever your default computer's voice is. Usually now, well, it used to be Alex, which is a really high quality voice. Now it's crummy old Samantha Compact, and to any new iPhone users out there, you're very familiar with that voice. It sounds like a smoker, but that's where you change the voice. So you can actually download new voices. They have quite a few different dialects and languages and some novelty voices. If you haven't played with the novelty voices and you like messing with sounds, play with those bad boys.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure just because I'm not too familiar, are the announcements in there too? Because there is a feature.
Yes. So speak announcements, speak selection, speak items under the pointer, and speak typing feedback.
And speak announcements is one I want to jump on because you can actually have it do things like announce the time. You can have it announce when your battery's running low. You can have it announce messages, and you can even customize it. So it'll greet you it'll say, hey, just to let you know, your battery is at 10%.
Yeah.
And you can pick the voice, of course, from that voice selection dialogue. But really useful thing. It does talk quite a bit, though, which is annoying. Like if you're installing applications, it will usually say like alert appeared or something like that.
Yes.
But you can customize those and turn those individual options on and off. a speak screen is a very interesting little option. I like that if you're not a screen reader user, but occasionally you don't, and this is for anybody, if you don't want to read long pieces of text or you have eye strain or eye fatigue, what you can do is you can turn this feature on and highlight the text you want it to read. And then there's a speak screen button. I think I don't know where it appears on the Mac. I know where it appears on the iPhone, but
it's just in the accessibility. I don't know that it appears anywhere. I think you can
probably in the menu bar.
So it's Option Escape is the keyboard shortcut, but then you can do things like highlight the content, word color, change your sentence colors, sentence styles, all that kind of stuff in that speak selection. Speak screen, that's just the general just kind of speak whatever you're hovering over.
Yeah, because you can also have it where if you want to know where your mouse is, it will just announce whatever is under your mouse pointer as well.
Yep. Yeah, so that's really it. You can speak the typing feedback.
If you want it to announce your key, if you want to have, if you don't want to have a screen reader on, but you want to have key echo on, I think this would be useful if you are low vision and still learning the keyboard. That would be a useful option as well.
Yep. Yeah, that's really it. This is also, I forgot. This is where you can change the rate of speech. So if you want it slow or fast, whatever you kind of feel comfortable with, this is where you would change that.
You can customize anything. You could actually customize, especially with the Mac voices like Alex, the intonation. So if you want them to sound really monotone or really expressive, you can do that. Change the rate, the pitch, the volume, even everything.
Yeah. And then the final one in this for vision, and there's some other accessibility options that we're not going to get into today, but the last one for the vision is probably one of the biggest, audio descriptions. And you can enable this, disable this. It plays audio descriptions when it's available, and it's always monitoring what you're under. So what are some cool things about the audio descriptions that Mac has?
Well, audio descriptions mainly, I've mainly seen it work in things like Apple News and Apple TV and Apple streaming services, but it will work with, I do believe it might work with some other services. I haven't gotten it tested too much, but basically audio descriptions are for videos. So I'm sure loads of blind and low vision people around here know exactly what audio description is, but basically it's descriptions of videos, whether it be a movie or even a little informational piece or something like that. And so that's where you go and turn that on. So if you turn that on, and if you were to go into Apple TV and select a movie with audio description available, it would start, you would hear the audio description. And usually it's human narrated. I've never, ever seen audio description done by a computer.
Interesting.
But that's basically what that is. It's audio description is, well, pretty much a lot of these features are available everywhere on all of Apple's platforms.
Right. Yeah, and they do that specifically so that they can integrate well with each other, play nicely in the sandbox, as we like to say. And it's only when you start throwing other developers and other hardware in that some of these things get a little wonky. So if you have, like we were saying, like an Apple TV and maybe a laptop or an iPad, and you have a Google phone or an Android, then some of those things can get a little wonky. But for the most part, you'll be okay.
Yeah. Plenty of people are Android and Mac users simultaneously.
That's right. All right, Evan. It's time for my favorite segment. It's Sandwich of the Week. I have to laugh because I'm going to go first. I realized this week that pregnant women and kids have a very similar palate when it comes to food or sandwiches. My daughter has loved when I'm editing these episodes and I put in like the sandwich of the week jingle and whatever. And she goes, "Dad, you should tell them about my sandwich." I was like, "What's your sandwich?" She goes, "Oh, here you go. Ketchup and pickle sandwich." And I was like,
Ew,
what?
That's disgusting.
And I got to thinking about it and I was like, okay, so basically you want a hamburger with ketchup and pickles and bread, but with no beef. It's like, yeah, just like that. I was like, okay, all right. So if you're pregnant out there, we would love to hear some of your odd sandwich creations, because I know that there are some. I saw a video of a guy who night eats, or like sleepwalks, or eats when
Something like that.
Eats.
He night eats?
Night eats. Thank you. Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever. I don't know what the term is, but anyway, he puts two pieces of bread and then whatever chips are in the pantry or whatever, and then mustard. And that's his sleep eating, like, a sandwich. I was like, what is wrong with these people? But anyway, to each their own. Still love you. All right. What's your sandwich? Do you have one? Or a burger?
Actually, yes, I do. This is perfect. I went, last Thursday I was at work and I needed lunch and did not want to rush to the taco truck. There's really nothing else in walking distance.
Yeah.
So I DoorDashed from a place called Organic Sandwich Company in Boulder. It's kind of like a more like upbeat, more with, it's a very bouldery place.
Oh, sure.
And, I'll keep it at that. But I got this sandwich and it was grass-fed roast beef, cheese, pickles, mustard, and horseradish. I think it was prosciutto. Pretty sure it was.
Oh, okay.
But that bad boy, oh my goodness, that was a delicious sandwich. The roast beef, I'm used to, your thin sliced roast beef.
Right.
This stuff was thick. It was savory. It was juicy. It had the perfect amount of mustard on it.
Nice.
They used, good dill pickles, and the horseradish was like the big, big thing for me, the big selling point.
Nice.
I used to hate that stuff, but it's delicious. So that is 100% my sandwich.
No, I can't do horseradish. I try it every once in a while, but I still can't just. Now I think it's like a texture thing of the actual horseradish, but more it's, I do like the flavor. I like the spice. I like the bite of a horseradish.
Oh yeah, but it's got a weird texture on it.
It does. It does.
It's
yeah.
weird. It's like
texture's a big thing for me.
Yeah, same.
Well, I do have one final request from everybody. Thank you, first of all, so much for joining into this fun show and getting a look at two knuckleheads behind the microphones talking tech and having technical issues. So most of these things you guys experience on a daily basis, which leads me to my point. If you guys have any tech questions, we would love to answer them. You can we're setting up a phone line so that you can actually call in. And we're setting that up. We don't have the phone number just yet, but we're setting that up. So give us a call and you'll be able to leave a voicemail with your tech tip, and we'll try to put that on the air and we'll try to answer that live in the show. And then also, if you have any questions or tips, you can also email me at jonathan@aincolorado.org. And this is for like a global thing. So if you have questions about mental health, if you have questions about navigating life, if you have questions about tech, or you have a guest that you want to suggest, that's where you would go. So jonathan@aincolorado.org. That's my email. And then that phone line will get that out there in the next week or two. So hopefully we'll have a lot of you guys call in asking all these fun tech questions, and we can answer some of your pressing needs and kind of help you out. Evan, anything from you?
Yes, Penn and I, Penn Street After Sites host, and I will be doing a little live event on Facebook where we get to do some Q&A. And we actually came up with a really cute name with it I forget what we called it. It was very much Sip and See. That's what it was. Sip and See with Penn and Evan. So, we wanted it to be kind of themed around coffee because coffee's pretty big here at AINC. But yes, we're going to be doing that. It's going to be a little just half-hour thing. You guys are more than welcome to call in live. We're going to have a Zoom going, and it's going to be great. We'll talk about, we'll touch on like the White Cane project, and you guys will have plenty of time to just chat and hang out with us for a bit.
Yep, you guys can actually answer or ask questions about the new name change, about the White Cane project, what things are going to be happening in the spring, or just questions to Evan and Penn, really about anything that's going on in the blind community. So that'll be an amazing show. Thank you to everybody who over the last weekend supported the White Cane Day and initiative. It was so cool to see pictures from all over the state of Colorado and really all over the nation, because there were some amazing events that happened. I know a good friend of our show, Kelvin Crosby, I think he was in Greeley over the weekend. And sorry, Kelvin, if you're listening to this, we didn't get a chance to hang out, but hopefully we will next time you're out here. But it's such a cool experience to see so many people embracing this and growing the awareness of the blind community. A lot of people know that there are blind people, but when you have a swarm of blind people, it's just like really in your face, and it's kind of cool. And so congratulations to celebrating a White Cane Day, and hopefully you guys have had a fantastic week. Don't forget to plug in your devices, and we'll talk to you next week.
See ya.